No Filter Show with Paul and Grady. Paul, what's the deal today?
First of all, No Filter, What's the Deal is an opinion show. It is not the opinion of St. George News.
Right. And what we try to do is bring in an issue and bring in both sides of the issue, like we brought in Steve Ward, and today we're bringing in Mayor Bramall.
That's right. So just like the other What's the Deal show with Barlow Davenport.
Right.
And he was let go from Dixie State University.
Right.
Dixie State University is going to have their chance to tell their side of that story when they can do that.
Two sides to every story, and without further ado, let's bring out Mayor Bramall.
Mayor Bramall, it's good to have you with us this morning. Thanks for coming.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
So, Mayor, there's been a lot of controversy in Hurricane, and it's mostly over Steve Ward and his restaurant, Baristas, and a giant sculpture. Can you give us a little background on the bowl and your thoughts and feelings about it?
Sure. Steve Ward submitted a picture of a bull and wanted approval from the city for a bull to be put up in front of his restaurant.
Right.
It was a normal anatomy bull
Yes,
that was
yes.
turned in.
Right.
So the city staff approved the bull for him to be installed. Gave him the license and everything. Well, then obviously we saw that it was a very enhanced bull that
It had changed.
installed.
It had changed completely.
Yeah, about 50%,
Right.
300% larger than normal in certain areas.
The people of Hurricane seem to be a little outraged, and that's the impression I've got, Paul.
Yeah, they seem a little outraged, and I think that, the story's blown up worldwide. And, Hurricane's probably on the map before this, but it's for sure on the map now. And
Well, Hurricane likes to be a tourist destination.
It is.
ATVing, Jeep
how
riding.
many people come through Hurricane every single year?
2.75 million to 4 million a year
It is-
as a tourist.
It's very
area.
important for Utah to have that city. So
Great place.
it seems like Baristas is a great fit for that, right? Because
Great
it's
location.
great location.
Great little restaurant.
Right. It's perfect for tourists. It's got an out-of-town feel about
A
it.
lot of people like his food.
Right.
So a question I have is, the bull itself, in my opinion, the way it stands now, I guess the phallus symbol's been removed, but the way it stands now, it's a pretty cool looking bull. You guys don't necessarily have a problem with the bull as it stands now. Is it more a problem that maybe the city has with Steve himself calling people out, or did it all stem from the bull, or was there
Good question.
a background?
Actually, Steve calls our police department a lot of times.
Right.
He's the one who calls, and he's the one who asks them to come because of disorderly patrons. You know, we have about 15 places to eat in town, and we have one that gets a lot of phone calls,
Right.
and most of them are from Steve Ward.
Right.
So
Or
what
the
would be a
police.
typical call? Like, why would he be calling them?
Sometimes patrons get upset about their charges or service or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
and
I've heard that.
then he'll threaten them and call the police if they threaten him back, or at least that's what they feel. And those are the emails that I get. Out of 100 emails from citizens in Hurricane, about 70 complaints, and are actually mostly from tourists
Right.
emailing and complaining and letting us know that, hey, these are the problems in your town
Right.
at this one restaurant. Now, understand that United States law allows cities to be dry.
Yeah.
United States law allows counties to be dry,
Yeah. You see it a lot.
and states to even outlaw alcoholic beverages.
Down south, there's a bunch of states.
And Utah state law says, hey, if you're close to a school, you don't have to even allow alcoholic beverages.
Right.
Well, Steve Ward's restaurant is right across from a school. So when he applied for a beer and wine license, the city actually had to grant him a variance and made a concession to allow him to sell beer and wine in his restaurant. And we want to be a tourist-friendly and a business-friendly city. So we
Accommodated
proceeded.
that.
Well, in the next year or two, 30, 40 complaints a year, when we aren't having any from any other restaurants, all of which, or many of which have beer and wine licenses, we have, as a city council, made the choice that, hey, we have a liquor store in the west end of our town. People can get hard liquor there. We don't want to have to beef up our police numbers and our policing by having liquor by the drink and hard liquor more available. The statistics are there. If you make it more available, you have more problems.
So there's a direct correlation in the amount of liquor that's served in a town and the crime rate.
Especially hard liquor.
During the interview we had with Steve Ward, he basically called out Arthur LeBaron, who is the city engineer. And what I know of Arthur, he is a stickler, but he has to be. He's a city engineer. The onus liability would fall on him for certain things. And he is the guy for that job. And it seemed to me a little that would have been out of character for Arthur to have made the comment to Steve that Steve mentioned that he made about, the comment was something about him wearing sunglasses and it looks like you're on drugs or something to that effect. Do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
You know, Arthur's one of the finest people I've ever met. I see him donate time in the community for scouting. As an employee of the city, I've never seen him do anything that would question his integrity. So we have a great staff. We have a great police force. And in 2013, we were 17th safest city in Utah. In 2014, 14th safest city in Utah.
Mayor, where do we go from here with Steve Ward? I mean, it seems like there's a rift between the people of Hurricane and Steve, and I don't think he's going anywhere. And you guys aren't definitely going anywhere. So where do we go? How do we make this right?
We hope that Steve Ward settles down and is happy with what he has and the business he has. He promotes it politely, appropriately,
right,
and goes forward. He's gotten a lot of free advertising out of the things
he
that
has,
he's done,
and I think it might even help the city a little bit.
And Hurricane's got a lot of free advertising.
right, that doesn't hurt.
Here we are.
I'll say this. I love the people of Hurricane. I love the people in the city council. I love Mayor Bramall, Arthur LeBaron. But in the same breath, I also like Steve Ward. There's qualities about Steve that I really like. He's aggressive. He's ran a successful business for many years now. Mm-hmm. The Bull itself is really cool.
Well, it's culture to me. I like to have culture, but I also like a safe city. I like to feel like, I didn't lock my car door, but it's going to be all right. But I also like to see characters like Steve Ward that do artsy things, that kind of push the envelope.
We wish the best for Steve Ward. I had an interesting conversation yesterday. Lon Allen from Sunny Boy said, well, we were considering putting out a big pink pig out in front of our store, but we've kind of nixed it for a while.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Is there anything else that you would like to say before you...
Any final words you'd like to tell the people of Hurricane or St. George?
I work with the city council. I've been on the city council 12 years, planning commission 2 years, been the mayor a little over a year and a quarter now, and Hurricane's a great place to live, to work. We want it to continue to be so. We want all of our businesses to be successful, and that's the deal.
When